Hello, everyone. Today we are going to review rational number operations. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is going from an improper fraction to a mixed number, or from a mixed number to an improper fraction. Okay. So as you can see, if I have 5 over 3, 5 over 3 is like a division problem, okay? The number is an improper fraction because there's a bigger number on the top than there is on the bottom. There's a bigger numerator than there is a denominator. So what we say is, how many times can 3 fit into the 5? 3 can fit into 5 one time, and then there's 2 left over. So I fit 3 into 5 one time with 2 left over. To turn a mixed number into an improper fraction, we're going to take the denominator, multiply by the whole number, and add the numerator. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. And then we put that 9 over the original denominator. Okay. All right. Moving on. We're going to practice this. So here I'm going from a mixed number to an improper fraction. So I'm going to multiply the denominator times the whole number, and I'm going to add the numerator, and I'm going to get 9 over 7. Here, I'm going to say, how many times can I divide 25 by 9? Well, 9 can go into 25 2 times. It gives me 18. And I've got 7 left over. So that means I would have 2 and 7/9. Adding and subtracting fractions. When we add and subtract fractions, we have to find something called a common denominator. And we do that by finding the least common multiple. So if I were to add or subtract these two fractions together, I need to make the bottom number be the same. So I think, well, what is the smallest number that both 4 and 3 multiply to? Well, both 4 and 3 have a common multiple of 12. Okay, so to make the 4 a 12, I multiplied by 3. So I'd have to multiply the top and the bottom of that by 3. So this would become 3/12. To make the 3 a 12, I multiply by 4. So I have to multiply the top and the bottom by 4, 8/12. And now I would be able to add those together, and I would get 11/12. Let's look at the other one. Okay. So now I'm looking, and I need 10 and 12 to have the same number, or the least common multiple. And I would get that by having 60. Okay. That is the smallest thing that both 10 and 12 can add to, or can multiply to. To get 10 to be 60, I have to multiply the top and the bottom by 6. To get 12 to be 60, I have to multiply the top and the bottom by 5. And now I have common denominators. Try these right now. Okay, you should have gotten common denominators of 12 for the first set, and when you added them together, 11 over 12. Common denominators of 60 for the second set, and when you subtracted them, negative 19 over 60. Okay. So for this one, 6/7 plus 3/7. Go ahead and find your common denominator and add them together. And you should have seen that you already had a common denominator, so all you had to do was 6 plus 3, which is 9 over 7. And I'm going to leave this as an improper fraction. One-fourth plus 2/5. Go ahead right now and try that. 4 and 5 both have a common denominator of 20. Okay, so to turn 4 into 20, I multiply the top and the bottom by 5. So I'm left with 5 over 20. To turn a 5 into 20, I multiply the top and the bottom by 4. 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 over 20 is our answer. Oops. Okay, 3/8 minus 4 over 2. Go ahead and try that. The common denominator that you should have gotten would be 8. So I don't actually have to change the first one, but I do have to change the second one. And the way I turn a 2 into an 8 is by multiplying the top and the bottom by 4. So now I have 3/8 minus 16/8, which is going to give me negative 13 over 8. Now we're going to talk about multiplying fractions. Multiplying fractions is way easier than subtracting and adding them because we actually don't have to worry about a common denominator. All we're going to do is multiply the numerators. Then we're going to multiply the denominators, and then we'll reduce the fraction if we can. Go ahead and try this. Okay, you should have multiplied the numerators and gotten 4, multiplied the denominators and gotten 45, and that's your answer. I can't reduce that any further. Okay, dividing fractions. Okay, so this time we're going to do it the same way we multiply, but there's one step first. We have to invert the second fraction. Okay, so if I'm doing 4/5 divided by 2/3, 2/3 is my second fraction. What I need to do is flip it or find the reciprocal. Okay, so when I flip a fraction, it's the reciprocal. So if it's 2/3, it's going to be 3 over 2. Okay, if I had the fraction 1/2, the reciprocal is 2 over 1. If I had the fraction negative 2/5, the reciprocal is negative 5 over 2. Okay, so you're flipping the fraction. Then you multiply the numerators and you multiply the denominators. Okay, they turned this into a mixed number. I also would have accepted 6 over 5. Okay. So again, dividing fractions, you keep the first fraction the same, you change division to multiplication, and you flip the second fraction or find its reciprocal. Go ahead and try this one. Okay, so this would have been 5/8. I leave that. I change it to multiply. Instead of 1 over 9, I'm going to have 9 over 1. And I'm going to have 45 over 8.